Okay. Hello, boys and ghouls. uh, this is Dewhouse, aka Plocars, aka just John. um, I'm here to narrate, commentate on yet another time-lapse video, and this is actually kind of a first for me, where when I made this artwork, when I went into it, I actually was not a fan of this movie. What happened was I wanted to do my next art piece. I didn't know what, but I definitely wanted to do something. But I didn't want to do something. I didn't want to make something original. I wanted to do a pre-existing IP for one reason or another. I just kind of wanted to do something that might, catch more people's eye. Uh, and attention. So I was like, okay, well, what movies have I seen this year? I went through my list of like movies that I had seen and I've recently released, and sorry, do another drink of water. And I came across Halloween Ends, a movie that I legitimately at that time hated. I'm not gonna lie, I legitimately hated Halloween Ends. And I'm sure everyone listening to this who has seen the movie is like, yeah, no shit, it's a terrible movie. I've actually since come around, and now I kind of love the movie, not gonna lie. But anyways, regardless, I thought, when I came across that, like, ew, no, I'm never gonna make fan art of that. Why would I do that? Screw that noise. And then it kind of just started simmering in my noggin, and I started thinking about like some cool ideas as to what I could do for artwork, and it actually got me kind of excited. So I was like, all right, fine, because I did ultimately like the Corey Cunningham character, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I made artwork based, centered more on him, since to me he was and is the main character of that movie. People can argue whether or not that was the right call. Originally, I wasn't a big fan of it, and now I am. Uh, and so I wanted to center it on him. And originally, it was going to be Corey in the center of it, and it was going to be a very bleak and somber piece with Corey looking down, holding Michael Myers' mask, looking very torn and tormented, with Allison on one side of him, reaching out and, grabbing his arm, looking like she's trying to comfort him and save him, while Laurie, I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to do with Laurie on the other side of him. Part of me thought maybe she would also try to comfort him and, hold like the other arm, as though they're like coming together as they're tormented by this mask, and then hovering over them would be Michael Myers looming over, and the background would appear like a still shot of like a street view of Haddonfield with during the fall with like leaves, and you see some of the houses and maybe a car or two or some kids or something in the background, and some decorations. Like, that's originally what I kind of had in mind. And then, obviously, as you can see here, it's spun entirely out of control. I got the idea when I got the three characters in there, like, what if Corey's face was morphing into something, And originally I thought, well, maybe it's morphing into Michael Myers' mask, but then I was like, that's one too many masks now. Michael Myers, the shape mask. But then I was like, well, what if I did a pumpkin, or a jack-o'-lantern sort of look? So, like, yeah, that's a good idea. I kind of like that idea, because it is kind of as though, Michael Myers is carving himself into Corey and morphing him and changing him into a monster, basically, and like something entirely different, in the movie. So I felt like it kind of uh, it went well with the themes of what was going on with this character. And then I also, when I thought of like a jack-o'-lantern, I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if I also did the other mask from Halloween 3? And then I started thinking, what if I morphed this into like a weird sort of mixture of Halloween Ends and Halloween 3 Season of the Witch? Season of the Witch is legitimately my favorite Halloween movie. Yes, even more so than John Carpenter's original or any of the other sequels. That Halloween 3 is my favorite. I'll fight you. I don't care. And then anyways, then I thought like, oh well, what if like their faces were sort of like morphing into, or just sort of had an impression of those those other masks, and it was kind of like a Halloween 3 thing going on. And then I thought about, ooh, what if I included the iconic, TV bars from it as well? Oh, that would be a lot of fun. That'd be pretty cool. And then, Halloween Ends, since like they have the title font looking like the Halloween 3 font, I figure why not, include that down at the bottom, and then have sort of a glowing TV effect over it. And then, the hands came in, and obviously those are just like stock photo hands that I came across that looked like shit, and then I just painted over. But that was a lot of fun doing. Yeah, just all these ideas started coming to mind, and then all of a sudden the colors were coming in out of nowhere, really. Like, orange was obvious, but then, the green and the purple, I thought really just made it look pretty cool. And I think, like, this piece really stayed in the ugly phase for a good long while until it got to, like, when the vibrant colors were hitting in. That's when I think it started turning around. And then what brings it all together for me is that iconic Halloween 3 pumpkin that is imprinted in the scene. I do love that a lot. I had huge issues though, sadly, at one point. We had just passed it, but I had the document here, the Krita document in 16-bit float, and that started affecting the piece and making certain blacks within the piece turn to white, and it was glitching out, and so I had to like switch over to a different file format for it. But then that changed the colors entirely on some things, and it fucked up my pumpkin, and that made me really sad. But honestly, it was kind of a blessing in disguise, because now the pumpkin looks even better in my opinion, and it stands out way more, and I think it surprisingly works now, and it makes me very happy that this came out as well as it did. This piece has no right to look as cool as I think it looks. I do honestly love it, and because of this piece, I honestly learned to love Halloween Ends, because while I was making it, the entire time, I was still of the mindset that I hated Halloween Ends. I was disappointed, and it hurt my feelings. And then I gave it a second chance. After the piece was finished and I was like thoroughly happy with how it came out, it started making me excited to like give it a shot again for some. I was like, man, if only the movie was like this, it'd be so cool. But then I started thinking about the movie, and then I started realizing that the movie is kind of the Halloween 3 of its time. It kind of is. But the painting process was just a lot of fun once it finally got out of that ugly phase. It took so damn long, and for a long time I was like, man, this is a mistake. What have I done? No, I can't believe I screwed up this bad. Oh, I'm so mad at myself. But thankfully it made a miraculous turnaround. And also, I mean, I kind of feel like I ended up with two different art pieces in this whole thing. I ended up with the base art, the base art for that I made, with Krita, and then the video editing that I had a blast doing as well, making this kind of retro VHS styled showcase that I mixed in certain audio clips and even a few visual cues from like some of the Halloween trailers from Halloween Ends and Halloween 3. I figured it was fitting since those are the two I'm mixing anyways, and doing this VHS uh, effect over the artwork was a lot of fun, and putting together the music too. It's a mix of Halloween Ends score along with Halloween 3's, and it was just a lot of fun. And I hope that everyone watching this enjoys the artwork that I've made here, and I hope that I was able to give a little bit of a backstory, just some fun tidbits and information about the video in general. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please do me a favor, and do the little subscribey thing. You hit that little ring-a-ding-ding notification bell, if you know what I mean. And leave a comment as well, saying hi, your art sucks, anything. Just let me know you're there and you're watching and you're having a good or terrible time depending on, you know, what's up. Anyways, thank you. Bye.